Hello everyone. So the project of this one was testing on TDD. So first part was expanding the schema. So I added two new table, courier and courier status, connecting courier table with address and user and courier status, and also connecting orders table with couriers, having a foreign key for courier ID. And the next part was testing the schema. So going to the folder of the project, in the test model, we have to do the test for all of these models. So I did I go into app model folder and put like validation for every table, like validate presence. And in case of having uniqueness of some table, I added validate uniqueness of ID. And for one of the table product order, I added a custom validation like this function, and using that one, I could validate the last test in that table. So if I check test for that folder, Rails test model, so it passes all the tests for test model folder, which was testing all the schema. The next part was populating the data using the faker. So if I look at my web page, I can see like all the data populated. I can see that in all the table, employee, restaurant, and so on. I also added the two new columns for courier and courier status using the faker data for the population. Next part was implementing API through TDD. Okay, so for that one, when I look at the config routes, so I use the namespace API to define a new route. So as you can see, the first fourth are for that part which the test was given. So I created the route for each one for logging, restaurant, product, and order status. And if I go to the test controller, so this was the test given to us: auth, order, product, restaurant, controller. And for each one, I go to app controller. So I create a new folder API, and for each one, for auth, I write this logic to pass the test. For product, I write this. For restaurant, that one. And for order, so first part, like the update action, is related to the test given to us, and the next part I will discuss about that later. So the update action is for, if I go to again config routes, so it's related to this one. So this action is just for that one. So if I do the test for controller, so I change the folder to controllers. All right, all the tests passed even for the controller one, so the logic created successfully. And the last part was writing tests for get API orders and post. So based on this information given to us, so I go to, let me I go to controller order. So after here, I created new test. You can see for each one I create new test, and I wanted to compare the data given to us. So it was a bit big, like, so I put them in a variable at the top of the file, as you can see, order list one. So this is the all the information given in the text file. I put it here, and also I define some new data for the new test, and based on this I call the test, and for order controller in the API folder, for the index one, the action for index. So I did up to here, I write the logic for the to validate, to pass that test. And like if I expand this block, this is the method that I invented. You can see, let me expand that. Okay, so I loop through the orders. So this example is when the customer is input, and we pass user type and user ID. So in this case it's customer and user ID, and based on that I find the orders, and for each order in that list, so I do a loop and fill that JSON file. And for the list of products, which are like this, which is another list, is a list inside list. So I did another, yeah, it's here. I did another listing, another looping, and then I find all of the, I fill all of the information in that table. And yeah, so at the end, if I do the rake test, which it does the all tests together for all the folder. Okay, so it passes all the tests in the model folder and also controller folder. All right, hope you enjoy this video, and thank you for watching.